Is someone there? You knock upon my chamber door so softly, unless you are a mouse. Please, don't be shy. Are you the envoy from the human kingdom? I'm expecting you. If you would, pardon me for not greeting you properly. I do hope the cat flap is adequate, although you'll be comforted to know that there are currently no giant cats in the castle of the giantesses. I kept a lion once, though, when I was a child. Oh dear, you are small. I didn't quite believe my textbook when it claimed to have life-size drawings of humans, but you're positively diminutive. And to think your armor must have such tiny hinges. It's a wonder that steel can be beaten so thin. Come closer. You could not possibly be more welcome in my chambers. I do not know the customs of your land exactly. If you find this meeting odd, consider it an accommodation for me. I wanted to see you quite dearly. You're quite right. My bedroom is rather grand. It was once a retiring room in my grandmother's reign. Oh, I think of her fondness for arched ceilings often. And for that, I am most thankful. My old bedroom simply did not have the headroom I require. I hoped I would have headroom aplenty here, but the chandelier has lately concerned me. I suppose I might bump my head against it if I stood. If I was inclined to stand at all. Was my condition not explained upon your arrival? Oh, knight, I hope you have taken no offense so far. The palace considers it a delicate matter, and though we have tried to keep the gossip confined to our own court, I did not think you could step one foot into our troubles without hearing about me. Yes, I am confined to the bed for the most part. If I stood to greet you, I expect I would spend the next hour or so convalescing. It's all a rather tedious story, if I am permitted to comment on my own matter. And I'm afraid I've so far been forced to talk down to you, as it were. Despite how often I must do just that, I would prefer to avoid such condescension. And while I suppose it remains an option for me to join you on the floor, that is somewhat awkward for a princess's etiquette, you can imagine. I would propose instead we could set aside any lingering honors or dignities on both our parts, and I might convey to you an elevation more comfortable for our location. Pick you up, I mean, would be a terrible breach of protocol. Oh, I here have my best gloves, made of fine dried silk. I expect the giantess leaning over you is quite frightening, though. Brace your heart, then, and I shall brace mine. Hello there. If you could please take a seat, knight. Is knight the correct title of address? Excellent. Up we go then. You can close your eyes if you like, if you're prone to vertigo. Sorry. I suppose I am prone to vertigo myself. You're quite safe. I don't think I shall faint, and in any case, with all these cushions, I shan't go far. The rush of blood to the head will pass in a few moments. Even now, my eyes are clearing again. I am very pleased to make your acquaintance. On behalf of the queendom of the giantesses, you have my warmest welcome. I hope you will enjoy your stay in the palace. And should you feel free to call upon me as often as you wish, I shall be here. My opportunities to play the diplomat are few and far between, aside from my letters. We haven't entertained a human envoy since the Dragon Wars, and guests are normally received in the courtyard, or the solar, or even the ballroom. And I am no longer fit for these venues, unfortunately. It's a bit embarrassing, really. I seem to have outgrown the intervening hallways. By some quirk of fate, my late growth spurt arrived 3 years ago, you see, and with an extraordinary vigor. I can hardly sleep from how my bones ache every night. I can hardly stand, for all the blood rushing into my legs hardly leaves any for my brain. And my heart, well, I am no Porphyrion. There's a very serious risk my poor heart will explode if I were to ever properly exert myself. I used to be one for dancing. I was graceful when I was small, only a mere 5 meters. And how my sisters laughed behind my back, too small to inherit. But I would have been happy enough to never see the throne, if only I could prance along in the meadow, laugh, sing, frolic. You see, knights, we giantesses do not inherit by order of birth. Far too much bloodshed in politics. We megacracy strive to be the most civilized form of government, where upon a royal vacancy, we simply measure the height of all the candidates and select the tallest. Except in the case of Mafalda the Strong, who was the heaviest and a great warrior, and also Ginny Silvertongue, who was only 7 meters but enjoyed such universal popularity that all her rivals sat down for the measurement. It's a lovely system, and I was happy to be entirely beneath consideration, if I were quite honest with you. And there were my sisters wearing corsets to improve their posture, doing spine-lengthening exercises every morning. Jokes on all of us. As soon as I turned 19, I shot up like a beanstalk. I grew, and I grew. Perhaps I'll grow until my heart fails. It's happened before in those rare cases like mine. I think the realm prepares for it, and I do not blame them. The world is always turning, with or without us, and then surely one of my sisters will be my successor. But I'm becoming morbid, knight. You did not come all this way for such and such. Are you at all hungry? I have a biscuit left, a heavenly shortbread with lemon. Have you seen the lemon trees in our grove? You most certainly should. They must be the size of your wagons. Have a crumb, if you can stomach no more than that. Do you like it? Good. Then I mark today a good day, for that is one more kindness than I usually manage. And you are as gallant and proper as I could ever hope for in an envoy. I shall have to write of your merits to your liege lord. You do make me feel like the proper lady with your bows and demure smile. Have you studied in the court of the elves, perchance? Oh, I would love to see the fairy lights and silvered cathedrals of those ancient woods. Would you tell me your stories, knight? Of the other people out there, their other lives? By all means. Shall I have my calendar fetched to show you what time I have open for you? Days and days, until the festival of Goliath, certainly. Do you suppose you might stay until then? It is a mere 2 weeks away. Then I shall make a present for you. Think nothing special about it. It is but our custom. And of course, it should be for you a surprise. If you must whet your curiosity, I have gifts for my sisters both, and I shall tell you what they are, if you can keep a secret. For Margaret, I have sent a human clockmaker who specializes in bell towers, and I commissioned for her a timepiece that she would be able to wear as a bracelet. Genius, right? And then for Bella, I have written a melody to accompany one of her poems, one she wrote when we were closer and younger. A fairy band will play it on pipes, and a choir of wood nymphs will sing. I had to make it quite clear to them under no uncertain terms that all our guests will mind where they step. They will be pleased when they see the pavilion I ordered built for them. It should have them all safely out of the way. Yes, as you may study in my character, I devise such presents more for myself and my own amusements. The more elaborate the better, for I have little else to do except reread the library. Why, yes, I like to think so at least. I read much of the day and much of the night when I cannot sleep. Are those books? Oh, how lovely to think you've traveled all this way with a pile of tomes. But they are so small. I suppose they must be for their purpose. I wonder if I can make out the text. No, surely not. And I dare not attempt to turn a page. Perhaps you could read to me nights? I would consider it quite a boon, only I've grown tired from all this speaking. Mercy, my constitution is not what it was. Perhaps I shall close my eyes. Yes, you can start. No, I don't know this. Read on, please. A lovely turn of phrase. I think I would like to see that someday. And to think human problems are just as large as mine own. How lovely, cozy. No, just getting comfortable. No, not asleep. Not yet. One more page, then again tomorrow. Mhm.